Good luck to you all. So I address today English medium O-level students regarding to equations, the lesson equations, and preliminary in the previous issue we discussed about the simultaneous equations regarding to equations. Then we explained about the full sketch about the equations. Among them, there were few charts regarding to equations as simultaneous equations, then quadratic equations. So we already discussed about the simultaneous equations initially, and today it's to be discussed about the quadratic equations. Quadratic equations. So quadratic means quadratic equations. If we take about the formal method, if not a fair method of quadratic equation to be used here, it is ax squared plus bx plus c equal 0. This is the fair method of quadratic equations to be used by us. And before this form, we should introduce about the other formal methods regarding to quadratic equations. So if we take quadratic equations as follow, let's take this equation. That is quadratic. It is quadratic. Then it's to be solved. Solved means here should find the value of x here. Then to solve this equation should be make the variable subject. Variable is x here. Then x should be subjected. Initially x squared is subjected as this form. Then other term is constant, it is minus 4. Let us remove the other side, then it is become as 4. Then to get the value of x here, if not solve, then to obtain the value of x should be get the square root, and then the square root of other side also should be taken. Then the square root of s squared is x. Square root it is x. Then the right side, the square root of 4 is, we know it is, normally we take square root of 4 is 2, but actually square root of 4 here should be plus or minus. So there are two values for x here, because the square root of 4 is plus or minus 2. If it is described further about this position, so how to make the square root of 4 is plus or minus 2. So if we take the square of plus 2, it is, we know, plus 4. And then we take the square of minus 2, then it is also plus 4, because minus person is multiplied twice here. Then it is become as positive. Then same answer is obtained by two of these. Square of plus 2, square of minus 2. Result is plus 4. That means for the square root of 4, plus 2 or minus 2 can be taken. Plus 2 or minus 2. This is the reason. to take two values as plus 2 minus 2 for the square root of 4 here. That means conclusively we can take the square root of any number has two values as plus or minus, and then we can follow under this position hereafter regarding to quadratic equations. There are two values and solutions of a quadratic equation. Then here answers are plus 2 or minus 2 and the solutions of this equation. So this method is very useful for us. In early grades also we have solved such like these equations. Then regarding to quadratic equations, to solve them there are three ways. One is by using factors, factorizing method. Second is completing the square. Third is formula. And let's take the first method of solving quadratic equations. It is factorizing method. Then so if we take early quadratic equation, we took as s squared minus 4 equal 0. So then before to solve this equation by using factorizing method, so I just explain a special method before you as follow. So if we take as this form 0 multiple by 5, 0 into 5 equals 0, we know it. And again we take as 5 into 0, and we also answer 0, and 0 into 0, the answer is 0. So three products are taken here. Out of them, in all of them, one value is 0 minimally, at least one value is 0. Here both are 0. Results are same, 0. If we consider about the right side, 0 is obtained. If we consider left sides, products of two values. Of all of them, at least one value is 0. If the product of two values is 0, minimally at least one value should be 0. This is a very important combination in our relationship regarding to solving quadratic equations. This rule, this regulation can be used thereafter to solve quadratic equations by using factors. So let's try to use this form. If not, this method can be called as zero product. Zero is result, product is left side here, product. And then if we apply this method to solve this equation as follow. Now the form is zero product, base is zero product, Here right side is 0 and this word is covered. And product, then left side should be a product. Here it is not same product. Two terms are only left in the same left side here, s square as s square minus 4. So the first method is named as factorization method. If we factorize the left side as follows, so here there are two terms only, one is square term clearly, so and there's a minus subtraction and other value is 4 here, then it should be reminded in our minds instantly then about the difference of two squares. Now we can put those factors as s minus 2 into s plus 2 equals 0. Now this is the product of factors of the initial expression. It is this difference of two squares. Then 0 product base is covered in this step. Right side is 0, left side is product of two factors. They are s minus 2 and s plus 2. So under the 0 product, one of this factor should be 0 because result is 0. Then can be written as s minus 2 equals 0 or s plus 2 equals 0, because this is the 0 product, this step. Now from this equation s can be the subject, then minus 2 is removed the other side, and in the other equation when x is subjected plus 2 is removed the other side, then minus 2. Then these are the solutions of this equation. Then this equation was solved in the normal method by taking the square root of both sides. It was normal. Then this method is factorization method. This step is based as 0 product. So this is the solving of quadratic equation is difference of two squares. So, and let's take another example also with arising difference of two squares. So I'll just take as 2x squared minus 50 equal 0. 2x squared minus 50 equals 0. So this is asked to solve. Then here also there are two terms only. One term is a square term, and here other is 50. Initially we should find the common factor, that is the method of solving quadratic equation. We should consider about the common factor, first method. Then 2 is common out of this, and 2 can be taken out of the bracket. Then remainders are as s squared minus of the number 50, remaining in the bracket is 25, 0. Then in the bracket section is arise the difference of two squares again. Then can be written the factors as, now 25 is 5 square, then s minus 5 into s plus 5. Now this is the 0 product. Then there are three factors here. They are 2, s minus 5, s plus 5. All three these factors are multiplied together, then result is 0. So here we know clearly 2 is not 0, 2 is 2. Then other variable factors, unknown factors, they are s minus 5, s plus 5. Two of these factors should be 0 because 0 product. Then s minus 5 equals 0 or s plus 5 equals 0. Then here x equal 5 and here x equal minus 5. These are the solutions of this quadratic equation. Here also difference of two square question is arised, and it is enough regarding the difference of two squares, I think. Then you can follow your textbook and examples as well, exercises. Not only that, you can follow as possible as all your national past papers, and then by finding such like these questions you can try to answer for them. And so I just take another quadratic equation beyond two difference of two squares. So I just take another quadratic equation as follow. Here I just take 5x plus 6 equals 0. Here there are three terms. This can be expressed as trinomial expression in the left side. So then you also is also solved by using factors. Then the base would be the 0 product regarding to solving by using factors. Then 0 product should be base. Right side is product here, 0 here. Then left side should be factorized to obtain two factors. Then here it can be taken the factors in the left side mentally here by one step. So if the coefficient of square term here it is 1, if it is 1, actually here coefficient 1 of a square term, then it can be taken the factors mentally, because here first term should be x, then x into x is s squared, and then here last third value is obtained by multiplying the second terms of these factors. Then now we know 6 is obtained by the product of 1 into 6. If we apply 1 and 6 here, actually 1 into 6 result is 6. Then this term is obtained, last term. But if we take the addition of these factors, addition of 1 and 6 is 7. But this addition should be here midterm. We have coefficient 5. If we take addition of these, 1 plus 6 is 7. Then this pair is not suitable as the product of here 6. Then there is another product as to obtain 6. It can be taken 2 and 3. 2 into 3. Then 2 into 3 is 6. If we take the addition, 2 plus 3 is 5. Then suitable pair is 2 into 3. Now These are the factors of this expression in the left side. Now zero product is fulfilled in the second step. Zero product. This base multiplied. Then it can be written as usually s plus 2 equals 0 or s plus 3 equals 0. Now here in this equation x is minus 2 and or here x is minus 3. Now these are the solutions of this equation. Here trinomial expression in the left side, right side is 0. So this is the form of solving quadratic equation by using factors. So this method was discussed in the grade 10, I think. Not only grade 10, the grade 9 also this method was learned by you. Then you should remind about this method of solving. And then your second target of solving quadratic equation in your lesson, it is completing the square. So if we take as another quadratic equation and this form to solve. So if we try to solve this equation by using factors itself, so let's try to get the two factors in the left side as usually. Then first values of each factors are about x, and here last term is 1. Then second terms of these factors should be here is clear about 1. Then 1 into 1 is 1. Factors of 1 is 1 only. Then 1 into 1. There is no any minus position here because all terms are positive. Then if we take as positive, then 1 into 1 exactly, but if we get the addition of these values, 1 plus 1 is 2, but here the coefficient of midterm is 4, then these factors are not suitable. That means in this factor it can't be got the factors, can't be factorized this equation. In the left side there are no factors. Then that means this equation can't be solved by using factors because there are no factors here. Then there should be another method to solve this equation. That method is named as completing the square, the second target of regarding to quadratic equations. So I just explained about the method of completing square just now. So before solve this equation, so I just remind about the squad you learned in grade 10. Squad means this one. If we take s plus 3 squared, then the expansion of this square, this is actually completing square. Completing means entirely s plus 3 is squared. That's why this is named as squared. Then the expansion of this squared, there are 3 terms. it was learned in grade 10. So if we write them, those terms as follow. First term is discount the first term, and by putting a space for the midterm for second term, let's put third term. Third term is discount the second term here, last term. Here 3 squared is 9 squared. Then midterm is obtained with the special method. Here midterm is second term. Second term in the expansion is obtained by twice of the product of the two terms. Twice of the product. Twice. So take the product initially, product of x and 3. x and 3. Product is 3x, then twice of it 6x. Then this one. Then midterm is obtained by that method. Twice of the product. Here. Then so there is a special combination in the right side. So I just show that relationship as follow. If we take the midterm and coefficient of it, coefficient of midterm in the expansion, it is 6, and take the half of the coefficient here and take the square of it, then 6 upon 2 is 3, 3 squared is 9. Then in this incident 9 is obtained. Here it is last term, if not third term. Actually there is the combination when taking square of the half of coefficient of midterm. This is the square of the half of the coefficient. It is 9. It is the last term. And then the left side also there is a special combination. If we show clearly, consider half of coefficient here. Half of coefficient is 3. Half of coefficient is 3. It is plus 3. That half is the second term of the square here. Take the half of coefficient here, coefficient 6. It is half of it is 3 plus 3. It is here. Then so I just give another expansion as this form: s square plus 8x plus 8x. Then so as to make 3 terms of completely square, this right side, if the right side is expansion of a completely square, such like above, then what should be the last term here, if not third term? It is decided according to the previous method, and this is the midterm. Then coefficient is 8, then should take the half of coefficient. Half is 4, square of 4 is 16, then this would be 16. And then if we try to write the completely square, because the square term is x, then first is x here, then second term of the square term, it is the half of the coefficient, it is 4, half of coefficient. So this is the complete square and the expansion of it. And this method should be reminded by you, should be reminded. Then that complete square portion can be applied here to solve this equation. So if these three terms are expansion of a complete square, then that combination should be fulfilled through these terms. Here midterm is plus 4x. So if we get the half of coefficient here, half of coefficient 2, square of it is 4. Half of coefficient 2, square of it 4. But here last term is 1. Then this is not a complete square. Then if it is to be made the complete square of the side, the last term should be 4. But in bond it is here 1. Then 1 is not suitable for the side. That's why then this plus 1 is removed to the other side. Then it is become as minus 1. Then these two terms are only remain the left side as s squared plus 4x. Then the suitable terms should be added to this side so as to make the complete square. So that now we discuss it. Take the half of coefficient, it is 2. The square of it is 4, then plus 4. Then suitable term is plus 4 to be taken as a complete square. Then plus 4 is added to the left side, and that action should be fulfilled to the right side also to balance the two sides to verify equation. Then the left side can be written as a square. Then first is x. Now second term of this expression is, it is clear, we discuss it. Half of coefficient, it is plus 2. Now this is the complete square, squared. Then the right side, minus 1 plus 4. The result of the right side is plus 3. Now x should be the subject in the left side. For that, initially square should be removed from the left side. Then s plus 2 is remained when square is removed from the left side. That means square root should be taken. The right side also square root should be taken. Then the left side square is neglected. S plus 2 equal this one. In such like these questions should know, in the question, the description itself, such like this value, such like square root of 3 is given in the data itself as square root of 3 is 1.7. So then if this is taken initially in the question, then this position can be used in this step. So as well we know there are two values of any square root as plus or minus, then we can use this value for the square root of 3 as plus or minus 1.7. Here is plus 2. Now, in two occasions, we can take these two values. In one occasion as plus 1.7, the other occasion as minus 1.7. In both those occasions, this plus 2 remove the other side, then it is become as minus 2. Then it can be written as x equal plus 1.7 minus 2 or x equal minus 1.7 minus 2. On both those occasions, plus 2 is become as minus 2 minus 2. In one occasion, plus 1.7, here minus 1.7. Then, if we get the simplifications of these, then here minus 0.3 is obtained. Then one value of one solution of x here, or x equal, here both are negative, then they are added negatively, then minus 3.7, minus 3.7. So these are the solutions of this equation. So it can't be solved by using factors. So then another new method is given for us. Then that method is used. That is completely square. So this is the method of using that form. Completely square. This is the method of completely square was made. So this is one example only regarding to completing the square. So if we take another correct equation by taking the national paper in 2010, year 2010, in the second paper, if we inspect this national paper in 2010, then it can be found a correct equation as x squared plus 4x minus 8 equals 0. Then this should be solved by using completing square. Completing square. Then it can be solved by that method. So here usually we should remain two of these terms, if not x terms, and constant is here minus 8. That should be removed the other side. Then it's become as positive. Then x terms are remaining the left side. Then so as to make three terms of a completing square, the left side suitable terms should be added. Then it is decided by the previous method. It is reminded, I think. Then last, if not third, is decided by taking the square of half of coefficient. Coefficient is 4, half to square of 4, then plus 4 is added. Then that answer should be complete both sides. Then it is plus 4. The right side is 12. Left side is obtained and completely square. X plus half of coefficient 2, it is plus 2. Now we can take the square root of both sides. Then here this one. Here is plus 2. Now s plus 2 equal square root of 12. So here 12 is a special number. Square root of 12 is special. So now we should remind an additional matter in another lesson. It is your first lesson, it is real numbers. Then such like this process were obtained. Here square root of 12 is called as entire third, if you remind clearly your first lesson. This should be converted as a third because this is entire third. It should be converted as third. So 12 is not a perfect square number. Perfect square number. But there is a perfect square number through the factors of 12 here. We can take as 4 into 3 here. 12 is 4 into 3. Now, the square root of 4 is clear. 4, it is 2. The square root of 4. But the square root of 3 is unknown. So this is the method of converting this entire third as the third. The square root of 12 is 2 root 3. 2 root 3. Then it is 2 root 3. Here plus or minus. Now, in that question, initially it is taken as square root of 3 is 1.73. 1.73. Now, we can substitute this value instead of square root of 3 here. Then s plus 2 equal. Now actually we can remove this plus 2 to the right side. Here plus or minus 2 into square root of 3 is 1.73. 1.73. Then plus 2 is removed, other side is become as minus 2. Now we should simplify this expression. 2 into 1.73. Then 2 into 3 is 6. 2 into 7 14. 2 into 1 2 plus 1 3. Then plus or minus 2. Now answers can be completed as follow. In two occasions we can take this number as positive and negative. Then answers are written here. X equal plus 3.46 minus 2 or x equal minus 3.46 minus 2. Now x equal, by this expression when it is taken simplification, 1.46 or x equal, here both are negative, then they are added negatively, minus 5.46. So these are the solutions of this equation. So we used the method of completing square. Now this is the question regarding to quadratic equations in 2010, the national paper. This is one example only in the past papers. Then you can follow all your past papers with you, such like this. Then in majority it was asked about the completing the square. If you follow your papers, it can be seen. Then this is one of question only taken from the papers to use the completing the square. So there are another method also to solve such like these equations. And now let's discuss the last method of finding the solutions of quadratic equation. Last method is third method here according to the target of the lesson. First was factorizing method, second was completing the square, and now third or last method is formula. So that is a special method of solving quadratic equations. It is formula. So now I just mean to give the formula directly before to simplify, if not before to obtain the formula. So I just give it directly as follow the formula. That is the variable of the quadratic equation here. Then in that formula it is given as a fraction. So denominator 2a. This should have denominator 2a. And numerator is begun as minus b. That is the speciality. Numerator is begun as minus b. Then plus 4 minus and square root of b squared minus 4ac. This is the formula to be used to solve quadratic equations hereafter. Second and third methods, they are completing the square and formula are used for the non-factorizable equations. Then although I just give the formula directly, this formula can be taken by using the fair quadratic equation as follow. So I just take fair quadratic equation. It is this one. Fair means it should be given as trinomial position. Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Here trinomial position is seen. Then here a, b, c, they are constants. Especially a is the coefficient of square term, b is coefficient of linear term, c is the constant. So this formula is obtained by converting this equation as completing the square. If we convert this equation as completing the square, then this formula is obtained. So I just take that formula by using this equation. Then we should apply the completing the square to this equation. So let's try to get that formula by using this equation as follows. Ax squared so I just write again ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Then let's try to convert this as a complete square. To convert as the completely square, the coefficient of square term should be 1. Here coefficient a. That's the main necessity that was discussed earlier. Then this entire equation should be divided by a in order to make the coefficient of square term as 1. Then all terms should be divided by a. Then s squared plus b upon a into x plus c upon a equal 0. Yeah, this step is obtained by the initial is divided by a. All terms are divided by a. Now coefficient of square term is 1. Then the usual method can be used to convert this as the complete the square. Then x terms are only should be in the left side. S squared plus b upon a into x, and then plus c upon a should be removed to the other side. Then minus c upon a. Then the normal method of converting as complete the square. Then left side should be made at the complete expansion of the complete square. Then required, if not suitable, terms should be decided to the left side. Then linear term is b upon a into x. Then if we use the normal method, usual method, to decide the third term, coefficient should be divided by 2, if not half of coefficient. Here coefficient of linear term is b upon a. Then half of that coefficient b upon 2a. Normal coefficient b upon a, half of it is b upon 2a, and then should be taken square of that, of the half of coefficient square. The square of b squared, square of the denominator is 4a squared. Then this is the suitable term should be added to the left side to make an expansion of a complete square. B squared upon 4a squared. Oh, this is an additional term, so we added. This term should be added to the right side also. Make balance the equation. So then left side can be given as the complete square and this form. First term is exactly this x. Then the second term should be half of coefficient. That is normal. That was discussed just early. Then half of coefficient is b upon 2a. This is the complete square. So, meanwhile, the right side is simplified at the fractions. Here, denominators are changed. 4a squared and a. Then, to simplify, denominators should be equal. Then, 4a squared. Then, both denominators are represented as 4a squared. Then first denominator is actually a, is become as 4a squared. Then this is multiplied by 4a. 4a. If not, with the LCM, LCM should be divided by a, then 4a is obtained. That means this denominator is multiplied by 4a. Numerator also is multiplied by the same, by 4a, then minus 4ac is made. And then second denominator is same here. Numerator is not changed. And then now S can be the subject hereafter. Square portion is remove the other side, then square root of the right side should be taken. Square root of, then minus, if not b, we can change these terms as b squared minus 4ac upon 4a squared. Now if we dilate the step, then square root of denominator is clear. It is 2a. The square root of denominator 2a. The square root of numerator is unknown. It can be put as itself, b squared minus 4ac. Here in the numerator, plus or minus can be put because square root. We discuss about this portion. The square root of any number is plus or minus. And now S can be the subject and the next step. This b upon 2a is removed to the other side, then minus b upon 2a, then this is become as inverse position. Here positive, when it is removed the other side, then minus b upon 2a, and this one plus or minus b squared minus 4ac square root of it, and 2a. Here two fractions are simplified in the right side. Denominators are equal, then denominator is 2a. Numerators are minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, and this is the formula for solving quadratic equations. So method of taking formula by using completing the square here. Then at the beginning of this section, formula was given directly by me, and thereafter it was taken step by step by using the completing the square. And so, however, actually this formula should be crammed, reminded by you as well. Not only this formula, but also any special matter is reminded, is injected into our mind by using that points that matters. And if you answer the questions, then this also will be reminded in your mind. And then we can use this formula to solve correct equations. So I just mean to use this formula to solve a correct equation. So let's take the same equation, the same question as we took 2010 correct equation in the national paper. It was s squared plus 4x minus 8 equal 0. And that question, it was given as the square root of twice 1.73. Now let's use that formula to solve this equation. Then let's write equation, if not the formula. X equal numerator as minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, and denominator is 2a. And here in this formula there are three letters as a, b, c. Then a is coefficient of square term, b is coefficient of linear term, c is constant. And it's better to apply them before to solve calculate this formula. A is coefficient of square is 1, b is coefficient of linear term, b equal plus 4, c equal constant, it is minus 8. Now we can substitute all these values. Then x equal, let's substitute b plus 4, here minus b, then minus 4 plus or minus square root of b squared. B squared is 4 squared, then 16 minus 4 into a, it is 1, c, it is minus 8. Then denominator is 2a, 2 into 1. And that is the simplification. Minus 4 plus or minus in the square root 16. Here all these three values are multiplied. Out of them 2 values are negative, minus 4, minus 8, minus 4, minus 8. When they are multiplied, minus minus is become as positive. Then 4 into 8, 32. Denominator is 2 into 1 is 2. And then numerator minus 4 plus or minus in the square root 48 is obtained. 16 plus 32, 48, and denominator is 2. Here x. Now in this occasion, this step, the square root of 48 is obtained as a term of numerator, the square root of 48. So this should be reminded in our mind. So what should be this square root? It is regarded to the first lesson of textbook. First lesson, it is real numbers. So you should remind about surds and entire surds. Actually, here square root of 48 is entire surd. Entire surd. This should be converted as a surd. Then by separating maximum square number in 48, it is 16. 16 into 3. 48 is 16 into 3. And then here 16 is perfect square number. Square root of it 4. And then 4 root 3. 4 root 3. Entire surd square root of 48. 4 root 3. It is surd. Now we can use it. So I will take new step. X equal minus 4 plus 4 minus 4 root 3 upon 2. And then in the numerator there are two terms. Those can be divided by 2. Then new step is obtained as minus 2 minus 4 divided by 2, then minus 2 plus or minus, then 4 root 3 is divided by 2, then 2 root 3. Now new step, this one. Then root 3 is raised. So in the question among the description, root 3 is given as 1.73. Now we can use it and substitute minus 2 plus or minus 2 into root 3 is 1.73. Then minus 2 plus or minus double of this product. Then 6, 4, 3. 2 into 3 6, 2 into 7 14, 2 into 1 2, and then 3.46. Now in two occasions this value can be taken as positive or positive and negative. Use plus or minus. Now we can write it as follow: minus 2 plus 3.46 or x equal minus 2 minus 3.46 and x equal, out of this simplification, 2 is subtracted from this value, then 1.46 or x equal, here both are negative, then they are added negatively, then minus 5.46. Now these are the solutions. These solutions were taken in the second by using the second method also, that was completely square. Now the same answers are obtained by using formula. Now both these methods should be followed by us, because in the question paper one of these methods may be asked, and then we should select the asking method to solve this equation. That's why formula also should be used to solve these equations. So this is the conclusion of the lesson equation of a textbook, of a syllabus. Now you should mean the equation is completed equation. Just after discussing the lesson, you don't mind the lesson is covered. discussion is only completed. To get the perfect knowledge about this lesson equation, then you should follow your exercises, examples. Not only that, especially question, relevant questions of national papers. Then all those methods will be followed by you, and then you will be acquired knowledge regarding to any lesson, regarding to any lesson. Then I just invite you to follow all these methods, and as well you should follow the review exercises of all lessons without motivated by your teacher. Then lonely you should follow all the reviews. That will be very advantage for when learning or discussing all lessons with your teacher. And then so in a short time, another short time, let's try to meet by taking another lesson, and until then, wish you good luck.